What's up everyone? Tiffany Quinn here, and this is our never-aging upper body workout. In today's routine, I'll be helping you develop your strength and mobility within your shoulders and scapula using a combination of up-tempo mobility exercises and dumbbell strength training. The only things you'll be needing for today's workout include a light set of dumbbells, no heavier than 1 to 3 pounds for our joint mobility exercises, and a moderately heavier set for our strength exercises. We'll also be including a pair of yoga blocks. 2 to 4 will be substantial to help us elevate ourselves during our scapular protraction and retraction push-ups. Keep in mind that you can do this exercise from a kneeling or a plank position. However, I would suggest investing in these at a later date so that you can increase the intensity of the exercise and adhere to progressive overload. All right, everyone, smash that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel for a new routine every week, and let's go ahead and get into it. What's up everyone? Welcome in for our strength and mobility scapula and shoulders workout. Now what we've got today is a series of our up-tempo mobility exercises combined with dumbbell strength training, and we'll be performing this in interval format with our timer set for 45 seconds work and a 15-second rest between. Now we've got 4 main circuits to go through at 4 minutes total each. Our first section of the workout will be our mobility warm-up for the shoulders and scapula. The second portion of our workout will be our lightest weights exercises for our shoulders. Then we've got our moderately heavier weighted exercises for shoulders to follow. And we'll be finishing off the workout with a combination of strength and mobility for the shoulders as well as the scapula. Now at the end of every circuit today, we will be repeating one staple exercise, and this is going to be where we use the blocks for our scapular retraction and protraction push-up. Now keep in mind that you can do this exercise without using those blocks, but using the elevation is going to increase the intensity as well as the range of movement that you get during this exercise. All right, so I think I've done enough talking. Let's go ahead and get into our first exercise and first mobility base. So I want your feet facing forward in line with the hips. We're actually coming into a hinged position into our controlled articular rotations for the shoulders. So we're going to externally rotate the right arm, the opposite hand, and that free hand can relax on the knee or the forearm on the knee, whatever feels best for you. We're coming up towards the midline, overhead into our internal rotation. We're going to come back, reach for the mid to upper back into extension and internal rotation as we come back ahead. All right, so let's get started with that timer. In 3, go ahead and find your best position. In 2, in 1. All right, hinging forward for me. That arm is externally rotated, straightened out, holding tension through the body, not allowing the chest to rotate as you come towards the midline. Internal rotation at the top, shoulder away from the ears. Extend back, now reach for the mid to upper back into your extension, and internally rotate to come back around. 3 reps both sides. You do get that 15-second break between. Try to fight for more range of motion with every rep. Keep in mind you want to stay in that pain-free range throughout. Towards the midline, into your internal rotation, extension, reach back as you come back overhead. Fight for more external rotation and finish that rep for me, and then we're going to switch sides. Feels pretty good, right? Moving completely through the shoulder joint here. The rest of the body stays stationary and over to that other side. In 2, in 1. Up towards the midline, internally rotating at the top, into your extension, reach for the mid to upper back as far as you can. Extend, overhead, back into adduction, and your external rotation, and extend. No bend in the elbows, and be mindful not to allow that chest to rotate. Everything stays where it is. The only thing you're moving through is the shoulder. That's 2. Up and overhead, internal rotation at the top. Make this rep your best rep. Back into your extension, overhead, take it nice and slow. Back into your external rotation, fight for a bit more on the way down, and relax. Okay, from here we're going into our dual arm shoulder cars. You can do this either in kneeling or from a standing position. Both arms are at the sides, externally rotated. In 3, 2, 1. Again, towards the midline, full body brace. Internal rotation at the top. Into your extension, all the way down, and extend back overhead. External rotation at the top, forward into adduction. Keep those arms nice and straight, and take it at a nice slow cadence, keeping the same pace throughout. All the way down, up and over. External rotation at the top, fighting for more range of motion. Let's take it one more time. And then we have our scapular controlled articular rotations. One more time overhead, towards the midline, and all the way down. All right, now I'd like you to take your hands and you're going to line up your middle fingers with the seam of your pants, if you've got one there. Otherwise, let's use your imagination. We're going to protract forward, keeping the fingers where they are. We elevate, retract back to press down. Come forward, elevate, retract, squeezing the shoulder blades, and down, keeping the arms straight. Full body brace. Take your time here. Forward, elevate, retract, and down. Now come forward and we reverse to press down, retract back, elevate, and forward. Down, retract, elevate, come forward. Two more. Up and forward. Come down, come back, elevate, and forward. Come down and slowly relax those arms. We are now going to go down to the floor, starting with our first staple exercise. Now we're going to be progressing this movement throughout the workout, but the first one we're starting with is the basic function of what we're going to be doing. So from that quadruped position, the hands are in line with the shoulders. Again, we protract forward and retract back through the shoulder blades to come down. Push forward and retract and squeeze. Push forward, retract and squeeze. Nothing else is moving. Retract and squeeze. Bringing the shoulder blades further apart as you push up and squeezing them together on the way down. Forward and back. Forward and back. 3 more. 2 more. Feels good, right? Last one, and bring yourself back to neutral. We are now going into our first light dumbbell shoulder exercises. You can do these from a standing or a kneeling position. Typically, you'll see me do these in kneeling since we do have a low ceiling here, and it is easier on the camera setup. So let's take both of those weights in hand, our lighter weights to start. Palms are facing down. We're coming to the side, to the front, lower and switch. To the side, to the front, lower and switch. Breathing throughout, back is staying straight, chest is lifted and proud, and shoulders are down and away from the ears. We're not hunching up. Palms are face down. Just a few more reps here. Another 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one. We're not done yet. Bring both weights to the side and we're gonna hold up with those arms at about a 30-degree angle forward for 5, 4, fight through it, 3, 2, on 1, slowly lower. Now bring the palms in to face the shoulders. Gets a little tricky here. We're working on coordination. One palm comes down, one palm comes out, and back in. Coming down, coming up, back in. Out to the side, Arnold press, and in. Alternating 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Just find your flow. Or let it find you, rather. You've got this. This one feels good. It's different, it's fun, keeps your mind busy. And we're working on the medial and the anterior deltoid. To the side, press up and in. To the side, press up and in. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Bring it in and lower those weights down. All right, great job, everyone. Now we're going to go into our circle overhead. So the palms are facing out away from you, starting at the thighs. We're coming all the way overhead, all the way back down into a front raise and lower. It's 1, 2, 3 to come up, 3, 2, 1 to lower, to chest level, back down. 1, 2, 3 to raise, 1, 2, 3 to lower, lift it up, slowly down. Never allowing the weights to touch the thighs. I'm just kind of enjoying the flow of our 20-minute workout today. 3, 2, 1 to come down towards the front and lower. Let's get 2 more in there. Even if it's a little past that timer, let's make the most of these 20 minutes. All the way up. Last rep, finish it off, don't cheat it. Lift and lower. All right, we can now come up to standing, and then we're back down on the mat. Coming up to standing, you can use your heavier weights for this one. The palms are facing in. We're in a hinged position, practicing the same protraction forward and retraction back. That is it. Come forward, 2, 1, squeeze back, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. This movement is especially important for our progression of our staple exercise coming up next. And punch forward, retract back. Now punch forward, retract back. Last time, forward, and bring the shoulders back to a neutral position and lower those weights down. Now we're going to be bringing in the blocks. If you do not want to use them, you don't have to. It'll be the same move, just on the mat. So we're actually going to line the blocks up. Mine are usually about the mat span apart, but yours might be a little wider, might be a little more narrow. Take your time getting into this position. The elbows, rather than being in line with the shoulder, we want them drawn down just a bit. We're lining the forearms up with those blocks, starting from a kneeling position. Find a position that works best for you. Again, retraction back, protract forward. Use that extra depth and push yourself back up. Retract through the shoulder blades and push yourself up. So this is progression number 1. Keeping the back straight and push yourself back up. 10 more seconds. And raise back up. Remember, you're squeezing and pushing forward. Finish that rep for me and come back into our position on the center of the mat. All right, from here we can use our slightly heavier weights. I'll be going with my 10 pounds. We're officially halfway through the workout, by the way. And we're going with a standard overhead press. So our arms are coming up to 90 degrees in line with the shoulders. Press up, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Great job, everyone. I know that it moves quick. Press, 2, 3, 4. But remember, that timer is simply a guide. You can ignore that buzzer. You can pause the video at any moment. Just get the most out of it that you can. 15 seconds, not even. And press. And press. 2, 3, 4. Last 2. Last 1. Bring the palms in towards the shoulders and lower down. Keep one weight in the kneeling side. The other leg can come forward, or you can perform this in standing, whichever you prefer. And we're going into a kneeling clean, or hang rather, into an Arnold press. Small lean forward, build momentum, palm in to palm out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Elbow stays close to the waist. Control the movement, but you're still using a little bit of momentum to keep that weight moving. And hang, and in and out. Hang, palm in, palm out. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Last press. And lower that weight down, right over to the other side. Okay, squeeze that core tight. You've got a 10-second breather. Then we've got one more exercise with the heavier weights and back into our scapular push-up. In 2, in 1. Hang and clean. And clean. Amazing. Into that press. Focusing on the muscles you're working, focusing on keeping the core tight, knowing that you're strong, you're powerful, you're balanced, you're gonna get through those 2 push-up sets. And our final set for the push-ups will be the progression of your choice, all right? So you can choose from 1, 2, or 3. Hang and press. Hang, clean, and press. Find that beat. Last 3. And 2. Give me 2 more, actually. We've got time for it. Last 1, and press. Bring it in, and come into a seated position on the mat with both weights. If you're a bit weaker in the abs, maybe go with the lighter weights for this one. Otherwise, the feet are straight ahead and flexed. We're seated upright with the palms in, into our overhead Arnold press, and back down. Bringing the elbows back down in line with the waist, and just facing whatever's in front of you. I hope it's a cute puppy. Out and back in. In my case, it would be 2 really cute guinea pigs. If you've never followed my Instagram, by the way, that's a lot of what I post on like an every other day basis. You get to see Scully and Arlo in their antics. And back into the shoulders. Another 3. And 2. Don't allow those shoulders to raise up towards the ears. Keep them down. Last 1. Finish that rep for me and lower the weights over to the side. So we actually won't need the heavier weights now for the rest of our workouts. You can put those over to the side. Get your blocks lined up where you want them. Feel free to experiment with your base. Everyone is going to be a little different here. And this time, we are going into a full plank position if you feel comfortable with it. Up into that plank, retract back, protraction forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades and push yourself back up. Take your time. If you need to take a break, that's all right. If you need to stay on the knees, that's all right too. And push yourself up. Retract back and push up. Amazing job. Keep going. Fight through it. And up. Great for the traps too. And up. Last one. Give me 1 more rep down. 1 more press forward. Watch my face as it turns bright red. Wow. All right. And we are going into our straight arm scapular cars. So just like what we did earlier with the hands at the sides, we're now going to bring them up to shoulder level with our lightest weights. If you've never done this one, go without the weights. Palms are face in, punch forward, elevate, retract, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. No bend in the elbows. Lift, retract, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your time. 2, 3, 4. Now for these, please do not go heavier than 1 to 3 pounds. We're working in a joint mobility, not muscular strength and the larger tissues that we work into when we're doing Arnold presses or shoulder presses. We don't want to go too heavy. Last one, retract, lower down and lower those weights. Take that break. We're going to reverse it in a second. You guys ready for it? Don't tell me no, you can do this. 1 more round of it. In 2, in 1. To press down, retract, elevate, punch forward. Down, retract, elevate, punch forward. Every rep, you're fighting for more range of motion. Staying in a pain-free range throughout. If at any point you feel that you're in any sort of pain or unnecessary discomfort, not just, oh my gosh, it's really hard to keep my arms up, then I want you to back out of that range of motion or put the weights down or take breaks as needed. Forward, down, retract, and up. Last 3. Oh, I'm sweating. Last 2. Last 1. Finish strong. Back and raise. Come forward and bring yourself back to neutral. We're now going into a sideline position, going back to our shoulder controlled articular rotations. And for this, we're gonna have the bottom leg straight. The top leg is going to be used as our support with the chest lifted. So like so. starting an external rotation, you can also use the block instead. Coming into your adduction overhead. Internal rotation at the top, slow to lower. Take your time here. It's going to be harder than without the weights. Back into your extension. External rotation at the top, back into adduction. And all the way down in line with the thigh. Coming back up overhead. Internal rotation at the top, fight for that rotation. Back down, back up into your extension, keeping the shoulder blade where it is. External rotation, come forward and down, and finish that rep off for me. We're going over to that other side. Then we have our final, I promise it's the last one, scapular protraction and retraction push-up. Going in 5 seconds. Remember, chest is lifted, rib cage is lifted. We don't want it drooping down like so. We're not getting ready for a painting. Remember the old school paintings? Starting off in your external rotation, come towards the midline, overhead, internal rotation, into extension, back up into your extension, overhead, external rotation, and all the way down. Like I said before, you can also hold on to that block. This would be a regression, but still a progressive overload of the shoulder car. And just squeeze that block as you come around, keeping the arm nice and straight. Overhead, into your external. And let's take it one last time, a little bit past that timer if you need to, not a problem. Back up, external rotation, lower, and get those blocks set up for me. Now you have the option of either performing in that quadruped position, protraction, retraction, in a kneeling or full plank stance. I personally am gonna go kneeling in 2, in 1. Line those forearms up, take time to find the base, pause it if you need to. I said kneeling, didn't I? Coming down into retraction and pushing yourself up. Down into retraction, pushing yourself up. You know what? I think I can do it. So we're gonna come up. If you wanna follow along with me, let's get into that plank, into your retraction, and push those shoulder blades up. Squeeze them back and bring them apart. And back up. Let's get 2 more in there. Back up. Last one. Back up and lower yourself down. All right, everyone, that is our 20-minute upper body strength and mobility for your shoulders and your scapula. This push-up in particular is especially useful for movement within the shoulder blades and also helping you with your strength training when you're working with overhead presses, lifting, pulling, pushing, all of these exercises. The mobility aspect of it comes into play during them. So don't neglect your mobility exercises. If you did need more of these, different exercises to do throughout the entire body, go to the playlist section on my YouTube channel and you'll have a series of videos for mobility listed there. Okay, everyone, next week we've got a true burner coming your way, unlike no other workout we've done before, and you get to hear all about it in the following scene. Have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me for our quick 20-minute burn, everyone. Be sure to let me know if you were able to use the blocks for elevation, which variation worked best for you, and which one will you be working your way up towards next. Now remember that we start our new May Fitness calendar next Wednesday at 9 a.m. EST, so be sure to grab your free fitness calendar from the links below. This is going to be our May Pyramid Fitness Total Body Series, where I'll be bringing you a new pyramid-style format every single week throughout the month to test your mental toughness, your lift capacity, and your overall endurance. We'll be kickstarting this one off with a full body burn on a 30, 60, 90 scaling and descaling timer. I wouldn't want you to miss it, and I can't wait to share it with you. All right, everyone, smash that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for the start of our new calendar.